Fuck being accepted. You can hate me all you like. Been a G forever. They've been hating on my life. It's quite peachy like vacays and Waikiki. Get in the way, you gotta pay. Now bi-weekly or long song, single shot. I
usually let it go for like 30 seconds.
So many gifts I got in store and didn't shop. I squeeze cameras, see speed cameras and didn't stop. I'm clean after the scene snapper, that's who you not. She cream after, she feed after this brutal cop. Don't drop spells, I'm hot, well, that's obvious. It's all work I'm putting in, no hobbyists. Don't do it for fun.
It's all work I put in, no hobbyists. I don't think that's a word you can Google. Special day. Special day is upon us. Nice. What up? Another edition to Tell It How It Is. No filter. It's Voice of Reason in case you didn't know. And I'm feeling good because people are rocking with me now. You know, I started really small. I started with just audio, kind of just throwing it out there, and that's very brave because when you decide to do something and you put yourself out there, you got to be ready for whatever criticism, shade, and whatever. So it takes a lot. So I started audio because I know I got the voice. Voice of reason. Then I chose to say, you know what? I'm going to let y'all see the face. So I'm happy for that. And I'm also happy because of my guest. And with no further ado, talk to the people. You ain't new to this. Tell them who you is. Promote, throw your shit out there. I want you to talk about the cakes.
Oh
yeah, talk to them.
Well, it's your hostess with the mostest, Miss Meekz. I go by IamMeekz. I'm Brooklyn's Balance. I keep Brooklyn balanced. Coming from Bed-Stuy on YouTube each and every Thursday or every other Thursday. It's a hot debate topics podcast. Again, it's Brooklyn's Balance, BROOKLYN''S Balance on YouTube.
That's what's up.
I ain't telling them about the cakes because I'm working on dropping some new stuff. But yeah. Tap in though for edible drinks though. I got those infused edible drinks. Yeah, that's about it. That's what we be drinking on my show.
They can't get their sweet tooth on, but they can get their drink on.
Yeah, it's the better version of Club Shay Shay with that little that juice he be giving them.
I mean, get to it. Very ambitious. You know, I try to only bring the people on here that's, you know, about something. You feel me? I mean, if you got some shit you need to get off your chest, I am a therapist. You know, I graduated from YouTube University with that. But
That's crazy. And not me, the actual therapist who got the forensic psych degree. This is crazy. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to jump right in, okay? I had to learn to separate the riders from the hitchhikers. Tell me, as you being on your grind and having your vision, wherever you headed in this life, whatever you got set up and planned, how do you feel about a statement like that?
Well, first, I feel like you think you know me because I think I addressed this last week with myself. I realized last year, I went through this whole chopping block of like people. Like I probably cut off like 10, 12 people and was like, yeah, it's not working for me. It's no support there. When I realized I'm the person that's always showing up, baking cakes for people's birthdays, showing up for their events. And I'm like, dang, I ain't get no surprise birthday party yet. Nobody offered me services after I was already paying for stuff with people. It took a lot. It took me actually sitting down and realizing like, yo, I'm coming up with stuff and I don't think the people around me really support me. They just around me because of the people I know. So it honestly took a moment. Like I had to sit down, and when I realized I needed help and everybody was outside partying and I was in the house coming up with the new idea, I was like, yeah, that's it. These people not for me.
That's gangster. So that's a true statement. And you really got to evaluate how you going to make these decisions to know who's a rider and who's a hitchhiker. Because a lot of people could fake it for a long time. So it takes time. So when we say this to you, we're not saying that tomorrow or in a week you're going to be able to do this. but you got to really pay attention to who's around, the energy and the vibes. And the more you got going on, the more you got to be on point.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because if you ain't doing shit, man, all y'all welcome.
That part, because I realized these are people that have been around me for like 10, 12, 14 years. And I'm like, wait a minute. But you also realize you elevated at that time. So the things that I have interest in, they don't have interest in no more. I'm more interested in going to industry events rather than sitting in the club popping bottles. Like, I'd rather go network. And then I bring you with me and you acting starstruck, you acting crazy. You want to sleep with this person, that person. Or you just like, I don't see the reason of going there. So, and it's years, and time don't mean nothing. That's what I realized. There's people I met in 1 year, 2 years, 2 months, 1 month, that you realize that they on that same time that you on. Sometimes you don't realize you around the wrong people until you get around the right people.
I was a little brain fart right there. You were supposed to get a this for that.
Who's that?
That's definitely gems right there. I'll give her that for a couple seconds. Let that marinate. Let that marinate in your head, what was just said. You know, you can hit the rewind. It's nothing. All right. So we tackled that. I like that answer. All right, go on. Life goes on with or without friends, with or without love. We have to chop this a little more. We have to chop at this a little more. That's not a real quick answer right there. Go ahead, analyze
so
that.
Life definitely does go on with or without friends. Like I said, last year when I had to cut everybody off, that was kind of hard. Because now you like, dad, I got to learn how to do things by myself. I'm not really the by myself person. I always, as much as I want to be alone, when it comes to doing things, I want to do things for the group. I want us to go someplace. And I had to get out that us mentality because everybody was doing me shit while I was doing we shit. I realized like, I got to figure out a better way to get through this. With my show, it was the people I first started with is not the people I'm ending with. I ended up doing it alone somewhere along the middle. Then I realized, you know what? I do put a lot on my plate. Maybe I just got to find the people who doing it like me. I brought people through for episodes and realized like, yo, they fit. Let me bring them in. I had to switch studios at a point too because it was like the studio, the environment wasn't good. I ended up leaving and then realized like I can do this. I'm doing this by myself. I upped the production, I upped the topics, I upped the people, I upped my interest in it. So I realized like it's those moments where you like, yo, I have to go through this by myself. The show's still gonna go on. Now with love, I couldn't say too much of that because I've been with the same person for 12, 13 years, but giving advice to people from what I see, like sometimes, you know, if that person or that situation not serving you, you got to get up. It can't be too many conversations. Like you're going to have to figure it out. Love yourself. And that's what people not doing. They not loving themselves. They sitting there trying to find it in a whole nother person. And that's the hard part right there. You got to sit there and figure it out for yourself. Then you realize the love that you thought you was getting or that you thought you needed, you really wasn't getting. Oh man.
So to just piggyback off of the more gems, I think I'm gonna call her Meekz, aka Gems. But it's true, the with or without friends. I guess that's something that you can figure out easier than the with or without love thing. Because like you said, if you gotta do things for yourself, you will eventually be in the company of people like you. And that's where you can reset that whole friendship shit to begin with. It resets and you have a fresh list. You know what I mean? So that can happen with your work ethics and your goals and all of that. When it comes to love, it's very touch and go. Because it's like, if you do put in, like you said, if you don't love yourself and you keep putting in and giving energy to something that's not giving that energy back, it's going to burn you out. And then when you finally realize it was a waste, you're not going to have that enthusiasm to jump right back in for that because you burnt all your fucking energy trying to save the one you wasn't supposed to. So it's going to take a minute for you to be like, do I want to keep putting energy to that? Because love, no disrespect, I may be saying this from my lens. I don't feel like love, you get out of it what you really get out of life in a whole. I think love is just an added feature to the progress and success of your life. Because I don't feel that if you got love, but you don't got nothing else, that you good.
See, love could come in different ways. Like, I think one love that I haven't experienced yet that everybody says is the love from your kid. That's a different love.
That's different. So different levels, yep.
I think the relationship part,
That's
time with everybody, is dependency. It's not really love out here. Everybody looking for dependency. Whether you just want somebody to be, you want to be in a relationship, or you want somebody to help you split your bills, or you want somebody to support you. And then there's, a lot of what people may or may not deal with is like love from your family. Some people come from good families and some people come from bad ones. But love in general, even so with all of them, you still got to love yourself. Because I seen a lot of my friends when they did have their kids, they was like, they didn't realize what love was or how to love themselves until they had their kids. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a little different. Then they start going into relationships different. They start setting boundaries with their family. So I do feel like it's just different parts to it. You're not wrong, but I do feel like society today, people messing it up. We don't really want love because we just saying here like, nah, if that's what it is, I don't want that.
Nah, you're right. Like, I took it from just one aspect. There are different loves. And if I just chime in a little more, definitely the kid thing, like that touched home, because having a child definitely introduces a new level of that. You know what I mean? So that'll give you hope, even if before the child all else failed. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And then the family thing, is definitely how you grew up and who you could depend on. But then that's tricky because when you grow up, you start to see the shit. Because when you a kid, you just think everybody's solid. Yeah.
Then you start realizing why Uncle Junior can't come around, or why your mother don't mess with them people, or why your mother tell you gonna see. It's like that.
So you learn. You can either learn calmly or be a forced learn. Because either way, you're gonna learn today. Right? You can act naive if you want. Dope. We knocking these out the park. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Listen, don't even say nothing yet. Just that alone gets... Yeah, that's a fact. Let me just say, because how you going to elevate or grow? You just going to stay where that is.
Listen, I said this a year ago on one of my episodes. Shout out to my brother Buck Madoff. I brought him through as a co-host. It was just random. And 88 Day, next Saturday, we in Tom, Dick, and Harry supporting his clothing line, his hats. So I brought him through and we had a conversation with some up-and-coming artists. Shout out to Story and shout out to Healthy. Those are both my brothers. And the question that I did ask them was, I find when I'm dealing with a lot of artists or when I go to a lot of the events, when they invite me, I see the same rotation of 10 people. I know all 10 of your songs. I see everybody. And I'm like, why in a week am I at the same showcase with the same 10 people? How does that work? And they explained to me it's because they're the hottest right now. So people want to book them and you want to keep them in the room. But my thing is that, let's say if you're one of the top 10 artists, who's going to now lead us into the next room? Who's going to now, because I also see that they also work with the same promoters. Don't get me wrong. They may give you the same opportunity or a better opportunity, or you had a better outcome when it comes to them. But I just feel like if you one of the biggest people in the room, y'all still shouldn't be in the same room. I feel like separately, it works better than if everybody as a unit, they're at the same place. When I asked that question and they enlightened me on their point of view, now I got to be the person that was like, okay, I'm in the room with people who I would have never thought I was in rooms with. Now I'm in the room with them and I'm just like, okay, how do I get to the next room? What else? I need to absorb more knowledge from the next room, or when they put us into that. That's kind of like a double entendre. Yes, if you are the smartest person in the room, you should move to the next room. But sometimes I think it should be, if you are the smartest person in the room, you should have more than one room. Because what if they are the person that brings those people together? Right. If we remove them, how we gonna find out it's other like minds in the room? So I get it, but removing it is like,
So definitely I support the fact that you could be in more than one room. I think the quote was for people who only have the one room.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you have the one room only and you're the smartest in there, nah. But I feel like if you only have one room and you're not the smartest in the room, you're going to learn and that will begin your creating multiple rooms.
Okay.
But some people get comfy when they in that one room and now they're the smartest. They feel like they obtained something and that's it. No.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You never know what your full potential could be. That's the thing with complacency. People get to a certain level and they feel like, all right, cool. But even though life's not a video game, I use it as a metaphor because it is Super Mario Brothers. It is Street Fighter. You want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
I know these games eventually end when you get to the last master, but it still symbolizes that you climb the levels.
Mm-hmm. But it's always a part 2 to that game, even when it ends.
So you keep going. Right. So you get it. That is the thing. You got to keep going because this thing of thinking that that's it. No, you got to keep going because this world, with all of the bad that they talk about and the technology and the access we have, we're supposed to try to use that to our advantage.
Right.
Because people used to grind back in the day relentlessly with less resources.
Right.
So all the shit we have now, we take for granted.
Because it's supposed to make it easier. I used to be out at the clubs giving out flyers at the end of the night to get people to come to the parties when I was a promoter. Now it's like you got to captivate people online on 7 different platforms to watch your platform. Like, I feel like I'm hood famous. When I'm like, when I look at it, I'm like, dang, I could get the numbers. You get what I'm saying? I'm being honest. Like, I feel like there's people that's like, yo, yeah, Meekz, I know Meekz. And then there's people that's like, yeah, well, I know Tamika, or I know Mika, or hey, I know Brooklyn's Balance, or I see this or I see that. But if you go to like my social media pages, that's not going to reflect. But like in real life, if you take me somewhere, I know a bunch of people.
Damn, they hit hard right there. Get the follows up, people. Support, share, comment, like, hit the notification bell, because we're not getting the flowers that's due if we care about numbers. You see, the thing is, that's important, those numbers, but it's even stronger, and I feel you for real, because it's like, you know the value of you without this social media shit. You know what I mean? We really let that shit get to us. And what's crazy to me is that people who ain't really got much going on feel more of a way that they not getting the file. Like, what is you even doing? Nothing. And you want more than the us that's putting in this pain.
Right.
But it is value because I like the old school way of when you went places, you interacted and people knew who the fuck you was. And you got that energy right there and then. Because you can feel that vibe. You can feel that that's genuine. That social media, fine. You can have 7 million fucking followers. How many of them coming when it get tough? If it really get tough, you may get 7 out of 7 million. So you can't be chasing that. But I know that's what it looked good to get you somewhere, like, with no doubt. Because when people who got the bread or people who can put you in positions where you want to go, they want to know that they gambling on a win.
Right.
And that's why those numbers matter. But I still feel against that because you don't know what I could do. You don't know my potential. My numbers don't mean I'm going to get you where you want.
Right.
You just feel comfortable seeing those numbers and think that that's what's going to make a difference off the rip.
Right. That's how artists approach me sometimes too. So like a lot of the artists that I know, I've had to build relationships with over a year, where it's like I'm going to showcases with you, I'm hanging out with you, you cool, then I bring you to my platform. You coming to me like, I got 10.1K followers, I could get this to this views. No, it don't happen like that. I'm not looking for that. I look for more so the content. It's going to go where it has to go. I looked at numbers where it was just me and 2 other people with like 300-400 followers, and we hit 1.5K on our own. It's the substance for me rather than, okay, your popularity. If I could get you into the room and then I realize you were dunce, it's like, this is not going to work.
Ditz.
Yeah, like, because I like to talk, and I think what people forget is they'll look at the face and then they be like, okay, she ain't probably got much to talk about. You get there and I'm a doctor, feel the hell out of you. I have a psychology degree. I know how to communicate. I know how to talk to people. I know how to read the room. I research before you I know you before you even come in and sit and talk to me. It's kind of like they call me Meeky Lake. I will research and we'll sit and we're going to laugh. You're going to have a couple of drinks and then I'm going to hit you with, so back in 2002 on your page, you were selling dick for money. What happened today? How did we elevate? What did we do? Like, you gotta ask. They came from somewhere, and it's just like, I'm not that person. We real, we raw. Let's talk about it. I'm not looking for the clickbait, but it's like we really need to know, how did you go from here to there, no matter how it comes out. So that part, listen, you could be the smartest in the room, you could be the room, but can you provide other ones? Because if you're in a room with a whole bunch of stupid people, you should be giving them knowledge, like, and then be like, all right, let me move on. Mm-hmm. Yes, mm-hmm. Get to another room, but sometimes it be the perception too that people think they the smartest people in the room, and they may not be. You may not be.
It could be a misled thing, yeah. Because 48 Laws of Power said make them think that they doing something even when they not.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? So that's big, yeah. Because even, I'll take that back to even my grandmother telling me, you let everybody be great. You only control what you do anyway. So right. If they sleep at night thinking that they the shit, go ahead.
Let them.
Reality bite fucking harder than 10 pit bulls. So you go ahead. All right, we good. So here's a good one. Every L I took, I deserved. I was either too friendly or too comfortable. I'm gonna let you set that off.
So as a Gemini, I don't, I'm in the middle with that. I don't feel like I took many L's. I feel like they took the L's. Like, it's them.
No, but it said, listen to what it said.
I know what it said.
Only that don't mean it had to be many, but even if it was only one.
One L. One L I could sit and take, but I feel like everybody who fumbled me or I'm not dealing with, y'all took the L. That's how I feel when it comes to that. The one time I took the L was when I say I started this, but then it's not really the L because look where I'm at.
Verbiage is crazy.
I used to write poetry.
I just let that resonate a little bit longer. Right. That's a confident and swift comeback to that because it's all about how you view it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some people let it get to them more where they really feel that it was a L. It takes some strength and confidence to look at it from a different angle. Take your emotions out and really look at the situation. And that's what you just showed right there by saying, nah, they took the L. You know what I mean? Some people say that just to like sound good. Not you. They say it to sound good, but did they really internalize what happened and do they really feel strongly about it? Because they know that's the right statement to say, to try to just cope. But is that the fact? And when you analyze it and I give you so much flowers for that because all of us have had a weak moment and we sit there and we doubt or we overthink something. But then when we sit and calm down and go, wait. I did this. Nah, they took that. Nigga, I was on my J.O. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I did I connected the dots. So you're not going to have me say it's psychological. People that have you feel, that's where that narcissistic and all those other shit come into play. Because people who capping, they just have you feeling like they the prize.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, hold. I've been getting swindled this whole time.
That's what it is. Because if I ain't let it fall apart, I would have just let that. I wouldn't have gained the emotional intelligence to realize that was supposed to fall for me to meet the people that I'm meeting today. I was very closed off and I don't like meeting new people and I'm not doing none of that. It took for me to go, you got to get out your comfort zone. You got to cut them off. They can't go where you gonna go. And look where I'm at. Further, they still try to pop out, every here and then. That's why when I look and I'm like, because I keep going, I ain't take the L. If I would have stopped, then it would have been an L.
Shit didn't stop you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to jump a little off for a second and say, you said you was a promoter. Like, how was that and how much energy you had for that? And did you lose energy for it? Clearly, you're probably not doing it now, or are you still into that? And what advice would you give to promoters that's trying to do their thing, since you said you did it?
So, 10, 12 years ago, did promoting. My team was Sex C&T, something extra because sex sells, which is now my cake business, something extra. Why? Because sex sells and my cakes taste like sex in your mouth. They moist, that's what people say.
Hey, yo.
Right? So when I was promoting, when I was promoting, I'm not going to sit and be like I was one of the hottest teams in Brooklyn. There was so many other teams around me. Cloud9, shout out to Ace General, Do Dollars, also all of them. Y'all would also know them from Money and Violence. They took the next
Do
step.
Dollars, I knew that name.
Yeah. There's so many promoters that I feel like I could name, and then Boss Nation, ENT. It was a lot of people that I was underneath. So when my team came out, it was because I was already dating men who were promoters. So then when I went in, it was like me and my team, we kind of took it by storm. Us and the girls, and they was like, nah, they hot. Let's put them here. Let's put them there. I learned a lot of the networking, and you getting to know people. Like my homeboy Buck, when he was rapping, when he was Buck Rogers, now you Buck Madoff. We met through that. Starks, DJ O, a lot of DJs gonna get mad if I don't say their names, but those the two. Jasmine Taylor, my sis, who's doing her podcast.
Oh shit, I know who that is too.
We've all elevated from that point. So you're always a promoter, if it makes sense.
Shout them all out. Shout them all out from me too. From me to you.
I can't.
No, I'm saying, everybody said. I'm just doubling it. Like whoever she just shout to you from me as well. You know what I mean? Because if she co-signing, I ride with you too. Yeah. So how do you felt about that whole experience? You have any advice again for these upcomers that try to do it? Shout out L.I. Fresh. Go ahead.
Well, one, I loved it at that time, and looking at it now from being a kid to now, we was living dangerous. We was outside, like. Man, we was outside. I cannot sit back and tell you there was any shootings, any fights. There fights here and there, but then it was like everybody was good. The fight then became, there's a party going on here and a party going on here. There was no competition. Everybody went to everybody's parties. It was more unity. I find that the promoters now, they just use us up. They not providing a good time. There's nothing going on there. It's the overpricing of drinks. It's the overpriced and the hookah. Like, y'all don't got nothing to offer. They can't even promote.
And why? But I don't get starstruck, but I get a little excited when there's an event, and it's rare that I pop out like that. But everything I've gone to in the last 6 months is like everybody is so like excited for, and it's overcrowded and overpacked. And then I go to the event, and it's what you just described. And I'm like, but something must be working. Like, what is the cheat code that, although they're not providing, it get that shit to pack?
So, I'm going to say this. One event that I see go. Two. Shout out to my brother, Real Easy. Hearts Deck. It's a lot of annual stuff and a lot of people who you know and you support and that they're always there for you. And then I don't know who does it. I just know DJ Active from when he was with BCE. Shout out to them, my bros as well. R&B Wednesdays. Is it Wednesdays or Thursdays? One of them.
It might be both somewhere.
They providing something to our age group because we tired. We don't want to go out keep hearing 41 all day. It's the R&B vibe for us, those 80s babies that you're like, okay, and they're doing it in different places. You're at Polygon, then you're at Coney Island Art Wall, so they're providing that. Then when you have Rel and the Hearts Deck team throws their annual, barbecue that we all go to, it's us reliving that time of when we were party promoters. And we kind of stick to us in our circuit. What they're doing is if you get 15 people who you know is hot with that many followers, that's how you selling out the event. So now you're overpacking it, you're overcrowding it, and in order for you to get, paid for it, everybody got to sell a certain amount of tickets, or your bottle packages got to be just right. Or if they like really, really fuck with y'all. Also another person, shout out to V-Dot. Whenever V-Dot does his anniversary, that's another one. We all show up, we all pop out. All Black Affair, we're going to do it. But like most of these other events now, like who's on the bill? For what? Why am I going here? What do they have there? Because if not, you're going to be overcrowded. I want to be in a section. I want to be comfortable. It needs to be space. Okay, you got your bottles, you got your hookah. Now I'm at the age where I need food. You can't just bring me Hennessy and I'm going to be okay now. Like, nah, we need food. Like, I'm hungry. Real food. So the cheat code is if everybody coming together like the Avengers, that's how they selling out the event. So it's not, they not really doing that much work, if I got to be honest with you.
I figured that's what I was waiting for, that bar.
They not doing much work. It's a cheat code.
So the people who, because it's a bunch of ingredients to make this event pop. So like you said, with the food, let's say like the hookah, how do those people get, or how do you think those people get down? Like, so if I had my own food shit going on, or I had my own hookah shit going on, how would I insert myself to be called upon?
So the first thing that I also find as an issue now is this vendorship. And I did an episode on this with pop-up shops and vendorships and all of this. That's not okay. And me also being a small business owner, we losing a lot of money. Yes, the upside to it is you're getting a network and you're coming to other people. But it's once you kind of present yourself, that now keeps an expense off of me. Because back in the days, there was no such thing as a drink vendor. The bar was there. The owner owned the bar. Correct. If you want to do a place that got food, then the restaurant is owning it. So you got to do more work to sell your tickets because you're getting more money from the people that's coming in there to eat. So the hookah, yes, at places that's there, once you find a team, you like, all right, they hookah is good, we taking them. But now the hookah got to be good and the girls who bringing you the hookah got to be fire. So now you got to look a certain way. You can actually look fire and your hookah be trash. I had that too. And I'm like, what is this? So it's more like the look, the perception, but they are using a lot of the businesses with the vendorships because let's be honest, certain people don't eat everybody's food. Like I'm one of those people. I got a food safety handler's license. I was an assistant manager in food and beverage for like 6-7 years. So I look around like I'm not eating there. I'd rather the restaurant have it, even though the restaurant already be messed up too, but they just be, you got to promote or you got to pay them a fee. You got to pay them $200 and they're going to tell you, oh, I got 2,000 people coming, make food for 2,000 people. You get there, let's be honest, 50 of those people eating out of the 2,000 people. Because people cheap nowadays right now. Well, they frugal. They don't want to spend their money.
That was the word. That was the word.
They don't want to spend their money.
So you said something about the look, okay, and the hookah could be trash. So damn, if I'm a person putting something like this together, I definitely would lean more towards the quality of the product and lean more away from the look then.
Well, you need both.
I have to find both. So don't settle till I have both.
You need your marketing, which will be the people who are selling the hookah, right, and then how you're getting it out there. Right. And then you need the quality as well.
Do everybody do this homework?
No. And that's why they don't be thriving. Like
it just do.
Yeah.
It's the word called just do.
Mm-hmm. Like when I see certain hookah girls, I'm like, oh yeah. Or like when I go and one of my homegirls and she's a vendor and her team got hookah, I know it's gonna be fine because we've done it before. So I know that it's good. She's coming with it, but they not looking for that. People gonna spend their money. You gonna spend $40, $50 for hookah. They put the coal up there, 2 seconds in, 4 puffs, go around, whole coal's gone. Burnt up, throw it on fire.
Sounding like RoboCop.
Yo.
That's a fact. So it's a business. You have to do your homework. You have to do your research. I mean, this is stuff that common sense is not common, and thinking logically, I guess people are not doing that because it didn't take to this juncture for us to realize that. It was always that way to have good business habits off the rip to try to thrive. Because like you said, people are just do.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as they made a couple dollars or whatever, I guess they feel like. Yeah. But I was always questionable about it because every event I go to and I hear the talk, like when I'm at an age where when I go somewhere now, it's just because I wanted to go out. It wasn't even it's because Tom, Dick, and Jing said this is going to be the shit. It don't be because of that. It'd be like, I'm going out, what's going on? And then people will tell me, yo.
Yeah, like I told you the other day, that spot, I was like, nah. Like, if you want to go for ambiance, if you know that you're going to have food, the drink's going to be good. If you have hookah, yes. And it's an environment where the music is still, you can do both date and like hang out with your homeboys. It's certain places you got to know where to go. Like, if you just going outside, that place that you said, I still wouldn't even go there. Because everybody who leave there, they getting arrested. They like something always happening at that spot. I'm at that age where I want to be. If I gotta come outside, it gotta be worth it. It's like what they got. I'm going through reviews. I'm like, no, I need to see. I need everything in one place. Because if I gotta come back home and cook, I'm upset.
Because what we doing?
What's the point? I spent money for drinks. We could have went to the liquor store.
And then you just cooked from jump.
And figured this out. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's where I'm at. But I'm also, because...
But sometimes it's a vibe, though. So even if you go and you don't... But you're that, I feel you and you're high. So you don't need a vibe. That's what you're saying? You don't need to change the scenery sometimes just for scenery.
You know what I need? And I'm going to be honest. Content. Because I'm a content creator. So at some point, you have to show that you're outside. So you're just doing it to do it. Do I want to do it? No. But if I'm going to do it, that means you got to give me a little bit of everything. You understand? Because if not, I could just be in the house editing, doing clips, making other like food content. Like, I'll just do that. When I dress up, I'm going to dress up. I got a bunch of outfits, a bunch of clothes, and I can sit here and be like, dang, I ain't going nowhere. But now, if I'm 2 seconds into outside and I don't like the server, I come into the spot, the music too loud, I don't like it. I'd rather go to a networking event than have to sit in these lounges and restaurants. And TikTok and Instagram oversaturated it. Everybody's talking about, yeah, go ahead. Blah, blah, blah. You get there, it's one mozzarella stick on the plate, 3 roaches in the back. They don't even serve douce. Like, what's the water don't work? Why we here? Why we here? Like, nah, could have did this at home.
Exposed therapy. It's true. It's a fact. And that's why my strategy works. Because if I just want to go outside, I am viewing and judging how you just did. But I don't get as disappointed because I know that this is just, I wanted to go outside. You feel me? It's so rare.
Money.
No. Don't get it twisted. I'm fully supportive of what you're saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is because of the rarity of it and how hard I work throughout the week.
Yeah.
I almost, sorry to say, expect it. And especially from our people. Sorry. In all of our businesses, we just suck a lot with the people person customer service skills. I'm not saying we're not talented. We are the most intimidated. I'm sorry. I don't care what shit I get for this. We're the most talented race in the world. I don't care. As I'm stand on that. But we get a little too arrogant because of that. Because you still got to be humble and do the little things to preserve that. So the customer skills, the customer service skills, you may go to other races, other places, and their interaction with you is way better. Now the food or whatever service is not clicking like that, but you still felt like you were treated a certain way.
Right.
So we terrible. We need to wake up and really be humble because what you got today could be gone tomorrow. And if you really realize that, and like how you said, you research and you look at, y'all really got to look at the dynamics of your business, whatever you're promoting, whatever you're doing out here. You got to really look at the ins and outs. And you're supposed to say, this is supposed to be better. How can I make this better? And it can be as simple as your customer service. You got to hire the right people. The people got to interact. Last thing I did, I didn't really criticize much and I still left a good tip. The waiter is a guy. He came. He was so good at first. Like he came every minute or two. Once like the food was good, I didn't see this motherfucker for like a half hour.
But I don't need to see you. Once I got
but the re-up of the drink or you get what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really bashing him too tough. I'm just saying like as attentive as he was at first, you know, you could still with the food. I get you. With the food, you could step away for a moment. But I don't think 30 minutes was supposed to pass.
Or you know what you probably wanted? I would have wanted it too. When he came and dropped the food, y'all want more to drink?
Right.
And then I probably would have dipped off like for 30 minutes.
Right.
He left you thirsty.
Yeah, I needed the water.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Why you keep going to places and people don't give you the water? They give you the liquor first. You don't realize that? Every place I be like, damn, no water first? Just straight to the liquor?
It's all about the strategy.
Nah, I need the water.
Yeah,
Bring both.
I'd rather you be slick and have a cheat code too. Like if I was a waitress, I'd be like a waiter. I'd be like, start with appetizers. Let's get some food in you, then I'll get you with the drinks later. Let's get some food in you first.
I guess.
But they do they do first? What y'all drinking? And so we're gonna start off with a drink. How not water and the appetizer?
You know why? Because drinks you're gonna refill more. You're gonna continue to refill more. I'm a licensed bartender as well. Sorry.
The fuck you don't do? The fuck? You about to tell me you could fucking? You probably changed my transmission.
That's it. Nah. I can look it up, but I mount TVs too. Let me know. With the drink, you just realize that people they're gonna refill that. Most of the time, what people come in here for is the drinks. You're not got how many plates you gonna get? Let's be honest.
One plate, one appetizer. You might get two. They might have a little combo joint, and you just get the combo to taste everything.
Sound better than me, cause me, I don't know. I skip appetizers. I don't know what it is. Like if I came here to eat, give me the plate. Let me get
I would glance at the appetizers and see if they got anything different than the norm or something.
Nah, or you always gonna have wings, mozzarella sticks. It's just aggravating.
Nah, yes. Last joint I went there had salmon sliders. That ain't special, but I didn't see that everywhere. I was like, let me get a salmon slider.
Must have went to my spot, Therapy Wine Bar or something, because they do that.
Right. But it's rare. Nah, I wasn't Therapy Wine Bar.
You gotta go there. Black on Wine Bar, Malcolm X, go there, they fire.
Why I sound familiar? Malcolm X. No, the area sound familiar.
In the sty, because I'm from the sty, so that's what that's.
You ain't the only one.
All right. Well, we not in the sty.
I know.
I just want to put this out there. If y'all see me yawning, he not boring me. You got me out here at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Just making sure. No food, hungry.
She came with a coconut water though.
Whatever.
Sip. My man Buju, coconut water. Check that out on YouTube. But anyway, all right, so we did our thing. We got this last one right here. I want you to really dissect this for me. Men are supposed to lead, not match the energy of a woman. Take it away.
I don't feel like I'm one of them good people to answer that. I don't like that quote at all. I don't like it at all.
Man, I'm supposed to
I think because we are unfortunately in a different time, in a different era. We are not back in the days when men were actual providers. We're not at that time. We fought for women's rights. We got through that. Then we fought for EEO, equal opportunity employers. Should they be able to? Yes, for themselves. And that's where I found the problem to be at. Men can't provide for themselves. Well, not men. People can't provide for themselves. So I feel like for you to look for the next person to do it is just kind of like, why you don't got your basic necessities in line? And let's be honest, us as a culture, it's either the woman ain't got it all together, so she looking for the man to do it. The man ain't got it all together, and he living with the girl who got it all together. So I hear it, but I feel like I'm into the jointship of like, we got it. This is two people with 2 bags each, and then we coming together, and then we still got what we have going on together, and you can still be able to provide. Like if you want to take over, then you take over. I'm all for that. But I'm also not going to let you do everything. I come from the strong Black independent woman that I had to do a lot of things myself because I saw when my mother was doing it herself. But now, do I know how to sit back and let a man be a man? Yeah. But also, there's a lot of men that don't know how to be a man. So it's either I'm going to be the female that's like, I'm going to wait till I find that. And then those men start going, but you ain't got your life together. It's like, it's never going to be copacetic, but we not what we were before. People need to be providers for themselves. And then they need to work on, can we both provide for if we have a family and if there's a we? That's how I feel about that. I don't do that debate. It defeats the purpose.
So to try to come back behind that. No, I hear you. I feel like it is an entitlement thing. Providing and having your own is definitely always a beautiful look. People twist the negatives about it. Like you said, if you don't have your shit together, you just want a hero. And then the guys who have their shit together and take on this, they use that as a control mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they think that, you know, you got to do what I say. To come into America, jump, bark like a dog. But anyway, I feel traditionally how I was raised, I would like that to be a little more realistic.
So you're a traditional man looking for traditional ways in a time that we're not traditional.
I know. I said if it could be,
right.
I would like it to be.
But that's the conversation. You can't do that. Like,
right.
It's not that it can't be done, but you don't really hear a lot of
about it.
Men say that. You get what I'm saying? So you're just like, okay.
But now here's my thing with what you said about it, and this is not I'm not stamping this is how I feel because of what you said. But you know, with that statement or like some of the references you made about it, that is intimidating for some men because it's like you showing masculine energy without independent. Fine. Do you agree that you have masculine or you feel like you're more feminine? Do you percentage it? Do you feel like you can? Because to be dominant and to be aggressive in this world successfully, look what you do. You stated all your accolades and what you can. You make cakes and you could do. Do you think that has to produce a masculine energy to be like that, or do you feel like you're still mostly feminine most of the time, and this is just you getting to it?
So I think you're gonna have to help me with this one. When we're all born, what's the 2 chromosomes that we have? What do we start off as?
Is it XY, some shit like that?
Is that the female one or is that the male one? I forgot. I've been out of school so long.
I think the XX is female and the XY is male.
We all start off as female. So if I go to a man and be like, you got feminine traits, you understand what I'm saying? Because they say most men can produce boys, technically.
Right.
If you're going through that whole scientific thing of, okay, we're all born girls. Just at some point, one of the chromosomes drop off and you're now a man. So I don't want to be the asshole, but y'all got a lot of bitch in you if you want to be technical. So I find, because I've been waiting to hit somebody with that.
Where did you get her from? Keep cooking.
I find that the whole masculine energy and the whole feminine energy, some corny person somewhere just had to make that up. I think it's confidence. And most men can't deal with a woman with confidence. But then there's men that like women with confidence. Okay, she got everything. And that's sometimes where you create the leeches. And those men are like, oh, okay, well, she got all of this, she got all of that. I don't think it's that I'm just confident. You're just not going to tell me no bullshit. But when we start with the masculine and feminine energy, most of the women who end up with both of those traits is because a man created it. Or a man was absent to even help to mellow that out. I'm never going to sit here and be like, well, my father or my stepfather was always there. To be honest, most of the things I learned was from my stepfather. How to change a tire, how to put things together. He was just like, so that you'll never need a man for nothing. So now what are we going to say? This was a man who taught me how to do these things. So they just know that some men wasn't shit. And he was just like, I don't want my daughter to have to depend on anybody to do that. But you also then when you grow up as a woman, you'll realize that I know I intimidate a lot of people. But the people who are around me, they don't see that as an issue. They're like, nah, she just does it. She knows when to sit back, but she also knows when you bullshitting her. So it's like what it is. I don't feel like I have that. I feel like it's just confidence. And I grew up around a lot of boys. So when people see that, it's just like, yeah, I might be one of the guys. But let's be honest. One of the guys, they do got like 38 triple Ds. I was going to say that. Some of y'all be overweight. But that's neither here nor there. That whole masculine, feminine energy is just strong. How? When most of y'all mothers were strong. Most of these black women were strong. I don't see nobody telling that to their mothers. So why are you saying that to the women that you date? And if you really, really want to be technical, because I was going to do this topic with my team, is that black women, stop thinking a white man going to fix your problem, and black men, stop thinking that a Hispanic woman is going to fix your problems. And that's where I'm going to leave that at.
Yeah, that's a hell of a closure. No, I guess you gotta have like a strong mind, and you do have to be a little open-minded with something like that, because if you just know where you are and your value, man or woman, you should be able to receive that type of view. Mm-hmm. So normally, I guess when I was still growing and still figuring life, you saying something like that, I probably would challenge the younger me. 25 to 30 or whatever. I would probably really have an issue with that. But to sit here now and know what I fucking could do, it doesn't bother me like I thought it would. But because you can articulate and break down why. Because I think that's the problem. The masculine and the feminine, people are not articulate to really break down why their views are the way they are.
Right.
They just post shit. I deserve the whole bag, the table, and the couch. But you don't really articulate. You
can't even sign the deed to bring the shit in. Come on.
What do we do? People think they're supposed to just get stuff because they exist.
Entitlement.
But when you break it down, it's very like that. You know what I mean? Like you was able to break that down. And now we can understand. But, you know, what you need to teach, well, you don't need to. It's not your job. But whatever females are in your circle, I hope you can pass on that energy to them to let them know, you know, if you're not understood, it's because you don't articulate yourself enough. And then if you know you do and you still feel like you're not understood, then you're talking to the wrong motherfucker. You know?
That's when I realized that's how that cutoff began. I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
Right. Not getting it. 2 plus 2 is 4. Where you got 3.5 from?
Your frontal lobe still not developed, and we passed that stage. You messed up. Something wrong.
You know what I mean? But yo, this was dope. I gotta close it out, which I never end this way, but she dropped so much gem. Let's give it up for Meekz, aka Gem Dropper. AKA don't bullshit me.
At all.
AKA feed her.
Please.
So we out of here till the next time. It's my 3 P's. Stay productive, stay progressive, and stay pushing.
The one you never argue with. Yo, we messing up this partnership. It's cause of me mainly, yeah, I started it. Guess that's why it's hard for you to pardon shit. Love the ladies, to you I'm just a horny fuck. Tell me there's no excuse, you cheating and you corny, hush. Ever felt empty even after a full plate? Then you add the side dish, now you feeling full weight. This ain't right, it's greedy in the first degree. But trust me, it ain't done purposely. It's just everything bothers you and it's irking me. Just be my superwoman, I can be your Hercules.